This is Yanka Kupala State University in Grodna. It has a long history, and we're going to tell you about it. It begins in the 19th century.
Now what you see here isn't exactly a university yet. Under the Russian Empire, a number of so-called Maria gymnasiums was created, and this is one of them. Only girls studied here, and after the graduation they became teachers. Overall, the level of education here was above middle among all the educational institutions of the Russian Empire. But studying here was quite expensive. It cost around 73 rubles. It was a few months of work as a teacher or a qualified worker. But hard-studying students could get a scholarship, and also studying here was free for the daughters of the veterans of the Russian-Japanese War and the daughters of the gymnasium workers.
There were compulsory and optional school subjects. The law of God, the Russian language, history and natural history, geography, arithmetic, geometry, physics and cosmography, needlework and calligraphy were compulsory. But if you had extra money, you could study foreign languages, such as German and French, music, painting, singing and dancing. Later on, the Latin language, domestic science, hygiene and gymnastics were added to the list. But then the First World War started, and the gymnasium was evacuated to Kaluga. Fortunately, the building didn't suffer much. When the Poles occupied Western Belarus, the gymnasium had the name of Emilia Plyatr, a woman officer during the November uprising, which had happened 90 years before. The occupation lasted for 18 years. 1940 is the breaking moment in the university's history. On the 22nd of February, the Belarusian government decided to found a teacher institute here. After the graduation, students became middle school teachers. At the first year of study, only 100 students were there. But then the Second World War reached our lands. The Germans occupied the city, destroyed studying equipment and cabinets, and inside the institute building they made a hospital. 15,000 books were burned. A lot of teachers and students were fighting the occupants on the front. Only one of the students, Vladimir Homchik, returned home and continued the study. He graduated in 1948 and then became a teacher. After the liberation of Grodna from the occupants in 1944, the Teacher Institute was made into a pedagogical institute. At the beginning it had only 3 faculties: physical and mathematical, the faculty of literature and the faculty of foreign languages. But with time more and more faculties were added. The main goal of the institute was to create high-qualified teachers. In 1945, a Yanka Kupala scholarship appeared here. It was named after one of the greatest Belarusian writers. The scholarship was given to the best students who also participated in social activities. And 12 years later, in the 1957, the name of Yanka Kupala was given not just only to a scholarship, but to the whole institute. And since Yanka Kupala was a writer whose main theme was the love for the motherland, giving his name to an institute shows how much the institute did for the Belarusian culture and science.
By the beginning of the 1970s, the institute was one of the best pedagogical institutes on the whole BSSR. And in the 1978, on the base of the Grodno Pedagogical Institute, the Yanka Kupala State University was founded. Although the name of Yanka Kupala was returned to the university only 10 years later. A number of students after the graduation became famous sportsmen. You may know Volga Korbut, a gymnast, by the nickname of her a Sparrow from Minsk. Alena Tinyankova, who was also a gymnast and a teacher of Volga Korbut, or Alexander Kurlovich, a world champion in weightlifting. Also, summer working movement was widely spread among the students. Being part of the Student Builders team helped to develop the sense of responsibility, commitment and union. And, of course, working here helped students to earn some money during summers. As time goes, more and more faculties are added. By the end of the 80s, there were 7 of them. In the 1993, there were 10, and today there are 15.
Today, Grodno State University is the 3rd best university in Belarus. It has its own institutions in other cities. Its graduates create worldwide popular startups such as Masquerade. There is a big number of activities in which you may participate and try yourself. Янка-Купала State University is a member of several international organizations of education. For example, it's a first Belarusian university which joined Erasmus student exchange program. Today, around 700 students of our university are foreigners. Янка-Купала State University has a long history. It has seen beautiful and terrible things. For years, this has been a place in which you come to learn more about the world, to show yourself, to get stronger, and until this day it remains that place.